I do want to bring in now, because we have just heard from, as we watch Trump boarding his plane back, we'll split screen this now because we've just heard from Trump's attorneys, Joe Tacopina, and for the first time, Todd Blanche. Let's listen.
There's not really any surprises. I know there was a lot of talk over the past several weeks and the past several days about what's going to be in this indictment and what's going to be there that we don't know. There must be something besides what we've been talking about for the past 4 or 5 years. There's nothing. The indictment itself is boilerplate. It doesn't allege any federal crime, any state crime that's been violated. It doesn't allege what the false statement is. And it's really disappointing. It's sad, and we're going to fight it.
Can you tell us what Mr. Trump's reaction was?
Were you surprised by anything in the indictment?
No.
How about you, Joe? Were you surprised?
I was surprised there were no facts in there. I mean, normally in an indictment you have alleged facts. So they said that this was a false business record entry to aid and abet another crime without saying what the other crime was.
Can you tell us what Mr. Trump's reaction was when he saw the charges against him?
When you say what his reaction was, what do you expect his reaction was? I mean, his reaction was exactly what would happen if it happened to anybody that I'm looking at now or anybody that's hearing what you're saying. He's frustrated, he's upset, but I'll tell you what, he's motivated. And it's not going to stop him. It's not going to slow him down. And it's exactly what he expected. And so to that extent, there's no surprise. But he's also upset and frustrated and disappointed and mad that this happened.
What about the warnings against his rhetoric on Twitter? What was the former president's reaction?
It was not a warning. What do you mean?
From the judge, talking about the threats to the Manhattan DA.
The district attorney made a statement addressing what they perceive to be, I'm not sure what the words they use, inappropriate rhetoric of some sort. Obviously, we responded, and the judge just took it in. The judge didn't warn. He asked the parties to consider what they're saying and not saying.
Guys, he did not admonish the president, and that's important.
He did request that the president not use language that would incite violence or civil unrest.
He did not request that the president not use language. He requested that everybody involved refrain from using language that's inappropriate. And by the way, that includes the witnesses for the people who were talking just as much as the president.
It also includes the former president swinging a baseball bat at the head of the Manhattan DA.
Well, I don't know where you got that, because if
that was a tweet sent out by the former president.
No, it wasn't. And first of all, that picture was not him swinging a baseball bat. I mean, if you want to distort the facts, go right ahead. I won't address that. Yes, it is. He wasn't swinging a baseball bat at anyone's head. That was a picture of him showing off an American-made bat. Someone else put a picture of the district attorney next to him, and in an article posted that. That's not
Mr. Trump commit to not using language that incites?
Guys, here's what we're going to talk about today. Here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the insufficiency of this case. And I will say this to you. Today's unsealing of this indictment shows that the rule of law died in this country. Because while everyone is not above the law, no one's below it either. And if this man's name was not Donald J. Trump, there is no scenario we'd all be here today. Please understand that based on these charges.
What are we going to hear from him tonight when he speaks?
When?
Tonight.
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
What are we going to hear from him?
I don't know. You'll hear it.
The prosecution wanted a trial date in January. Did you think that was realistic?
No. Can you guys talk about, there's a lot of speculation about the unity among the defense attorneys.
Look at this. Look at us.
Is that why you chose to do this?
To come out together?
Yeah.
We chose to come out together so we could speak with one voice, but there is no disunity here. That's gossip and it's nonsense. And we've been working together and we will be working together.
And this, to me, quite frankly, is the best team I've ever worked with lawyers. I'm honored to be working with these guys. It's a family, it's a team, and we have one mission, and we'll achieve that.
What's your next move? What's your next move?
I'm going to go home and have some food.
Are you going to appeal the charges? Are you going to appeal the charges?
When do you start filing motions? I'm assuming one of the first things you're going to do.
The judge set a motion schedule
to dismiss. I assume that'll be something.
The judge set a motion schedule that requires motion filed in 4 months. So that's a motion filed.
This whole notion mentioned about how this is sort of like a novel or
It's not a notion. It's actually a fact.
but talk about that. But like,
There's nothing else to say except the district attorney. This office has existed for decades and decades, and you can find one if you like. You'll never see a charge like this ever.
You understand this? You understand this? It's simple as this. A state prosecutor is prosecuting a federal election law violation that doesn't exist according to federal election law officials. It's as simple as that. You could sum it all up like that.
Will there be anything else in your motion to discuss?
We haven't even come
what about
close.
the change
The
of
prosecution is worried that the defendant could potentially post discovery on social media. Well, you commit that your client won't do that.
That won't happen. More than us committing, he's committed.
What
What have you said to your client about posting on social media? Have you given him any
We're not having
counsel?
any discussion about what we told.
What about the change of venue?
mention of two women.
Just answer this question about the change of venue. There's a lot of
It's premature.
right. So why is he talking about that? Why is he trying to move this to a place
So
like Staten Island?
once again, we're three lawyers here to litigate and fight this case. We're not PR consultants. We're not social media consultants. Donald Trump has made one hell of a brand and became president of the United States with his social media and posts and everything else, his messages. We are here to talk about the case and litigate the case. We can't address what he posts, what he wants to post, or it posts.
But as his attorneys, have you told him to stop posting this rhetoric,
So
these
what I
messages
said
about
before
the
was
judge?
we can't, literally, we can't tell you what we've discussed.
No, I understand,
So
but are
that's
you
the answer.
concerned that he's continuing to
Not
go
concerned
after
at
the
all.
judge, talking about the judge's wife, talking about the family? I mean,
I don't think
any
the judge
other
was concerned about it.
Yeah, but any other defendant, wouldn't you be like...
Any other defendant wouldn't be here
He's not
today.
going after the judge. He is not going after the judge. He commented that he thought that there were some issues that may cause a conflict. That's not going after the judge. He is not threatening
going
the
after
judge.
the
He's
DA.
not going after the
Right,
judge.
he's going after the
He has
DA.
said that the DA, he is angry because the DA has brought a case that is unjustified.
I mean, it
and
wasn't
so
just
I'm not
that,
going
but
to
it was
comment
more
on
than
it.
just saying he
You
was
may
angry.
disagree with the
But
way
it
he
was-
spoke.
Can you
but
talk
you're
about the
angry.
But
process?
can you
Was
talk
he
about the fact it was
fingerprinted? Was there a
We're not gonna talk
mugshot?
about
Was
it.
there a
In fact, I
mugshot?
think thank you
What
for your
about
attention.
fingerprints?
What's his message? What is his message? You supporters gathered here.
The three members of Trump's legal team addressing reporters and answering questions. If there was any thought that Joe Tacopina had been sidelined from the legal team, he made clear to show that he's not. Once again, displaying his pugnacious style, defending his client. But also we heard from Todd Blanche the first time, who has a record as a criminal defense attorney today, but as a well-known prosecutor, federal prosecutor in the SDNY. And he said Trump is motivated. This is not going to stop him. He's upset. He's frustrated, mad. Those were all adjectives he used. And you heard Donald Trump's legal team dismissing, almost mocking what was in this indictment.